Hello students and welcome once again to the e-learning portal of Balughat Mahila Mahavidyalaya. In my previous class regarding Markensia in section 1, we were talking about the general vegetative structure of Markensia. We were also looking about the mode of asexual reproduction in Markensia. Today in my class we will be talking about the sexual reproduction in Markensia, which is of very interesting type, and we will also be looking at the alternation of generation in Markensia. I want you to recall whatever we have been talking about in the previous classes. Things like the haploid generation, gametophyte the Markensia has, and here we will be talking about the sexual reproduction and the sporophytic generation. I have prepared few slides and I want you to go through them carefully and we will discuss about it later. Please follow the slides.
Markensia, the sexual reproduction is of very important type. Sexual reproduction in Markensia is oogamous, that is, the female reproductive gamete or the egg is not motile, whereas the male gamete or the antherizoid is motile and swim in the film of water and come in contact with the egg. Egg is larger in size in comparison to the male gamete. Species are mostly dioecious, that is, the male and female reproductive organs are in separate individuals. The male reproductive bodies are known as antheridia and the female reproductive bodies are known as archegonia. Antheridia and archegonia are produced in special erect modified lateral branches of the thallus. Archegonia is produced in archegoniophore, whereas antheridia are produced in antheridiophore. In the screen, the left hand side figure shows the natural image of antheridiophore and the right hand side shows the natural image of archegoniophore. Let us now study the section of antheridiophore. Antheridiophore is a well-developed structure. It is macroscopic and 1 to 3 cm long, which contains a stalk and a lobed disc at the apex. The disc contains air chambers alternating with heridial cavities. These heridial cavities contains antheridium and is also known as the antheridial chamber. The antheridia arise in acropetal succession. If you carefully look at your figure, you can see the mature antheridium in the center of the disc and the young antheridium on the periphery of the disc. This type of antheridial development is known as acropetal development of antheridia. Gametophore or the antheridiophore also has photosynthetic pigments, a long stalk, and is always attached and is continuation with the thallus. This is the microscopic image of the antheridiophore, which shows the opening ostiole, the air chamber, the antheridial chamber. The mature antheridium is placed or developed in the central region, whereas the young antheridium are always located towards the periphery of the disc. Now, the development of antheridium. The mature antheridium is globular in shape and can be differentiated into two parts, the stalk and the body. The stalk at the base, represented in the figure number G, is a multicellular structure. The body contains of a single layer jacket cells and androcyte mother cells. The androcyte mother cells produces antherozoids. Antherozoids are spiral in shape and is biflagellate, that is, contains two flagella at the anterior end, that is, at the tip of the antherozoid.
Now let us talk about sexual reproduction in Markensia. Markensia shows oogamous type of sexual reproduction. As I have already mentioned in my previous classes, Oogamous type of reproduction means there is a big female gamete and there is a small male gamete, and male gamete is always motile. So the male gamete is motile and female gamete always stays in one particular place. They are morphologically as well as physiologically different gametes. So Mertensia shows this type of sexual reproduction. Mertensia is also supposed to be a dioecious plant. That means both male and female sex organs are present in two different thalli. Now, in the sexual reproduction process, let us talk about the male reproductive organ that is known as antheridiophore. Now, I have drawn a structure of antheridiophore. When you look at the thallus here, the apical nodes will further extend and get converted into a gametophore known as antheridiophore. Now antheridiophore is like this, which contains a long stalk and a disc. So this portion is known as disc and this portion is known as stalk. And it is continuation with the gametophyte. Now when we enlarge or when we make a section, then we will see this type of arrangement. In your slides, what we saw is the gametophore, that is the antheridiophore, is a developed structure that contains two distinct zones, the upper zone, the disc, and the lower zone known as stalk. So this particular zone is known as disc and this is the stalk that will hold the antheridiophore. And antheridiophore, the disc is always open towards the upper side. This is facing the upper side. In your slides, we saw these antheridia are arranged on an acropetal manner. That is, when you look at the disc, you will always see the mature antheridium in the center, followed by immature and a very young antheridium. Whenever the mature antheridium is located towards the center and young towards the side or towards the border of the disc, this type of arrangement is known as acropetal arrangement of antheridium. Now the antheridium is present here inside this chamber known as antheridial chamber, and antheridium is present here. Here you have air pore. Then these are photosynthetic filaments. And this is the antheridial chamber. And this is the antheridium. Now antheridium will finally produce antherozoids. Now when you look at the structure of antheridium, you will see antheridium is an oval structure supported by a multicellular stalk. It contains an outer single layer jacket, and inside there are a number of cells which are known as androcyte mother cells. Now these androcyte mother cells will produce single-celled biflagellate spawn cells which are known as antherozoids. These antherozoids are motile and they are known as male gametes. Now this is the entire description of the male reproductive organ or the antheridiophore in Mertensia.
Now let us look into the structure of archegoniophore. The archegoniophore is also represented by a very well developed structure that contains a long stalk and a disc. But in this case, the archegonia or the archegonium develops on the underside of the archegoniophore disc. In the figure given on the right hand side of the screen shows the structure of an archegoniophore. On the upper side of the archegoniophore, you can see air pores and assimilatory filaments. These filaments are photosynthetic filaments and helps the archegoniophore to photosynthesize. On the lower side of the archegoniophore disc, you will see archegonia in a hanging position. Archegoniophore is slightly longer than the antheridiophore. It may be 5 to 7 centimeters in length. Here the archegonia begins to develop in an acropetal succession. That is, the oldest archegonium near the center and the young archegonium near the apex of the disc. This is the microscopic image of the archegoniophore of Markensia. The archegoniophore shows a very well differentiated tissue organization. The upper region is the photosynthetic zone, containing air chambers and photosynthetic filaments. The lower zone is the zone where archegonium are placed in a hanging position, covered by ray cells. The archegoniophore also contains a long stalk. The archegonium develops from the single cell anti-archegoniophore known as archegonial initial. After repeated cell divisions, a mature archegonium is formed. In the study material provided in the website of Balurghat Mahila Mahavidyalaya, you will see the detailed process of the development of archegonium. When you look at the mature archegonium, the mature archegonium is divided into two distinct regions, the venter region and the neck region. The venter region is a round flask-shaped structure, and in the center you will see the female gamete or the egg. The egg is covered by a single layer of venter cells. Neck region contains neck canal cells and the venter canal cells.
Now let us understand the female reproductive structure in Markensia. The female reproductive organ is known as archegoniophore that will ultimately produce archegonium, and inside the archegonium there will be the female gamete or the egg cell. Let us now look at the entire structure of the archegoniophore. Like the anthridiophore, the archegoniophore will also develop from the main thallus, and then it is slightly longer than the anthridiophore, but it is somewhat like this, an inverted umbrella. So this archegoniophore will bear archegonium. Now let us see the section of archegoniophore. In case of male reproductive structure, the antheridia were facing upwards, but in case of archegoniophore, the archegonium will be facing downwards. Here you will see archegonium in the hanging condition, as well as they are also arranged in the acropetal order. Now the upper zone will contain air pores, the photosynthetic zone, and these are the archegonia, collectively known as. These are the rays and the stalk. The stalk will also contain zones of photosynthetic pigment, which will continue with the thallus and also will contain the rhizoids. Now this structure is very important when it comes to the fertilization. And now let us see the archegonial structure. The single archegonium is divided into two parts, the neck, that is the slender part, and the venter. It is like a flower vase. So the round bottom portion will contain an egg inside it, which is surrounded by a single layer of cells known as the neck canal cells that will ultimately go till the top, and in between there are other cells known as the venter cell or the venter canal cells. Now at the time of fertilization, this venter canal cell, the neck canal cell will all diffuse, and they will produce a chemical substance that will ultimately attract the antherizoids for fertilization. Now this is the structure, the female reproductive structure of Markensia, known as archegonium. And mind you, these all are the gametophytic phase. They all are producing the female gametes or the egg cell that is haploid in nature.
The fertilization in Markensia is of interesting type. Fertilization takes place when a male and a female thalli grow near each other. As I've already mentioned, Markensia is mostly a dioecious species. That is, there is a separate male and a separate female plant. Water is very essential for fertilization. As I have already told you in my introductory classes, Bryophytes are known as amphibians of plant kingdom. That is, water is very essential for their reproduction. When a mature archegonium is developed, the neck of the archegonium is directed upwards on the dorsal surface of the disc of the archegoniophore. In the mature archegonium, the ventral canal cells in the central region and the neck canal cells on the outer side of the archegonium disintegrate and forms a mucilaginous mass. This mass absorbs water, swells up and comes out of the archegonial mouth by pushing the cover cells apart. On the other hand, on the anthridiophore, the anthrizoids are splashed by raindrops. They may fall on the nearby female receptacle, or they may swim in the film of water and reach the female receptacle. In all the cases, the fertilization is only possible if both the receptacles are surrounded by water. Many anthrizoids enter the archegonial neck by chemotactic response and reach up to egg. That is, there are chemical substances present in the mucilaginous mass that will attract the anthrizoids towards the egg. And this mechanism of fertilization is called splash cup mechanism, where the splash of raindrop will promote the transfer of anthrizoids from the anthridial filament to the archegonial filament. One of the anthrizoids penetrates the egg and fertilization is effected. The fusion of both male and female nuclei will result in the formation of a diploid zygote, also known as oospore. Fertilization ends the gametophytic phase, whereas formation of a diploid zygote is the starting of the sporophytic phase. The zygote will remain attached to the female gametophyte.
Now we have studied about the archegoniophore, the anthridiophore. Now let us look into the mechanism of fertilization in Mertensia. It is very important that both male and female gametophore will be close to each other while they are growing. Since Mertensia is a dioecious plant, that is, male and female sex organs are present in different thalli. So at the time of fertilization, water is very important. Now in this case, the male reproductive organ, the anthridiophore disc, will be like this. A drop of water will come and it will splash on the anthridiophore disc, and with this force, the anthrizoids present here will be carried with this drop of water to the female gametophyte or the archegoniophore. Now these anthrizoids, as I told you, they are motile in nature. They can swim in water and they are attracted by the chemicals that is produced by this archegonium. Now with the help of the rainwater, with the splashing of the rainwater, the anthrizoids are carried or transferred from the male anthridiophore to the female archegoniophore, and then ultimately the fertilization takes place. This type of fertilization that is aided by a splash of water is known as splash cup mechanism. So it is very interesting to see in bryophytes, if the water is not there, if the temperature or the climatic condition is dry, then bryophyta will never go for sexual reproduction. The most common mode of reproduction is always vegetative. But under favorable condition, as you can all see, water is so very needed for fertilization. Under favorable condition, Mertensia will show sexual type of reproduction. Now, after fertilization, what are the post-fertilization changes that will ultimately lead to the formation of a diploid zygote and the sporophytic generation represented by 2n number of chromosomes will begin. Please follow the slides and we'll come back again later.
Dear students, in our next class, we will be studying about the sporophytic generation in Mertensia. We will study how a sporophyte develops, within the female gametophyte of Mertensia. And we will also study about the alternation of generation in Mertensia. Meanwhile, I want you all to download the study material from the college website, refer it with the slides and presentations that we just saw in these classes. Hope to see you in the next class. Bye-bye.